In today's financial climate, it's more important than ever to think ahead about how you'll weather a financial crisis, especially when it comes to protecting your retirement funds. If you've been watching the markets and wondering how you can shield your wealth, you're not alone. You're probably asking, what can I do to safeguard my savings, especially with the volatility we've seen in recent years? The good news is that there are strategies you can implement right now to make sure your retirement funds stay intact, even in the worst of times. First, let's talk about diversification. One of the most important things you can do is spread your investments across different asset classes. You've probably heard this before, but it's not just a cliche. It's a core principle for a reason. When you diversify, you're essentially reducing the risk of your portfolio getting hit by one major loss. This includes stocks, bonds, real estate, and precious metals. But here's the kicker. When a crisis strikes, traditional stocks and bonds often take a hit. That's why you should seriously consider allocating a portion of your retirement savings into precious metals, specifically gold. Gold has stood the test of time as a safe haven during economic uncertainty, and many American retirees are now opening gold IRAs to protect their wealth. If you're serious about protecting your wealth in the next 2 weeks, I'd highly recommend checking out the free Gold IRA guide linked below. Thousands of Americans are turning to gold IRAs to preserve their wealth, and for good reason. If you're looking for a proven strategy, this is definitely something you want to learn more about. Now, let's shift gears to cash reserves. In times of crisis, liquidity is key. You want to have cash available to cover immediate needs without needing to sell off investments at a loss. But there's a delicate balance here. Having too much cash sitting in a savings account means you're losing out on potential returns, especially in times of inflation. So, the trick is to keep enough cash on hand to cover living expenses and unexpected emergencies, but not so much that it hurts your long-term growth potential. Another strategy is to evaluate your current investment strategy. If you're heavily reliant on the stock market or high-risk assets, this is the perfect time to rebalance your portfolio. Many retirees tend to have a large portion of their savings tied up in stocks, but in times of market turmoil, that can be risky. That's where a gold IRA stands out. Gold is not directly tied to the stock market and tends to hold its value during periods of volatility. So, if you're looking to minimize risk and protect your wealth, gold should absolutely be a part of your strategy. The next strategy is preparing for inflation. You've probably noticed how inflation impacts your purchasing power. One way to combat this is by having your savings tied to assets that tend to outperform during inflationary times, like gold. A gold IRA not only helps protect against inflation, but it also gives you the added benefit of being a tax-advantaged investment vehicle. By including gold in your retirement portfolio, you're positioning yourself to weather inflation while taking advantage of potential tax savings. Now, one thing I want to emphasize is the importance of avoiding high fees. A lot of traditional retirement accounts charge fees that eat away at your savings over time, especially if you're in an environment where your investments aren't growing as they should. If you're paying high management fees or dealing with high-risk investments that aren't performing, it's time to reconsider your strategy. Gold IRAs, on the other hand, offer a more transparent and straightforward approach, giving you greater control over your retirement savings without the heavy fees that can diminish your wealth. And if you're wondering how to get started with protecting your wealth, again, I highly recommend checking out the free Gold IRA guide linked below. It's perfect for retirees with 100K or more in their IRA or 401K, or even those with over $5 million in savings. This guide will walk you through the process and explain why opening a gold IRA is one of the smartest moves you can make to safeguard your retirement funds. As we wrap up, I want to remind you, financial crises are unpredictable, but your preparation doesn't have to be. By diversifying your assets, holding sufficient cash reserves, and considering a gold IRA, you can ensure that your retirement funds remain safe even in times of uncertainty. Don't wait until the next crisis hits. Act now and take control of your financial future. If you want to learn more about how gold IRAs can protect your wealth, especially if you have 100K or more in your retirement account, check out the link in the description for a free guide. Protect your wealth today for peace of mind tomorrow.